Your chairman, Nate Jackson, is present. We have Commissioner Parr. We have Commissioner Joe Clayton. We have Commissioner Jim Gavin. We have Commissioner Steve Tomaso. And our staff, Director Shaw. We have Jason Gilliam. We have an attorney, Matthew Reddish. Well, I'm going to get it. And Marshall Shelton and paralegal Vanessa Huntsman. And we have our attorney, Tony, out in the audience. We have attorney Patrick Merkel, and we have Bob Weaver. And I believe we have in the back Barry Whitson. And we have a special guest. Who is our special guest back there?
This is my daughter, Ella Claire.
Oh, spring break today. All right, isn't that nice? I hope I didn't miss anyone. With that said and done, I've had a chance to review all of the 84 cases, include the addendum. To the commissioner, have you had a chance to review the cases?
I agree.
You agree?
I agree.
I agree too. We're going to direct it to the attorney at this point. Is there anything you'd like to share with us other than what we've already read?
I don't believe so, as long as everybody has read the 84 cases on the legal report, the 8 cases on the addendum, and not have any questions for myself, then I don't have anything to add.
Does any commissioner have any question, any comments about the report? Don't hear any. Do I have a motion to adopt the legal report? We have a motion by Joe Clayton. Do we have a second? We have a second by Commissioner Gavin. All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes have it, so ordered.
Thank you.
Officially, we called the meeting at 8:30, and it's about 8:35. That concludes the report of the motor vehicle legal report. And as of 8:35 a.m., we're closed.
Very efficient.
Thank you.
It's 9 o'clock, October the 5th, and we will ask Director Shaw to have a roll call for us.
Morning. Chairman Roberts.
Here.
Commissioner McNabb.
Here.
Commissioner Galvin.
Here.
Commissioner Clayton. Here. Commissioner Fox.
Here.
Commissioner Hatcher. Jackson.
Here.
Commissioner Murray.
Here.
Commissioner Trickett. Commissioner Norton. Commissioner Parr. Commissioner Vaughn. Here. Commissioner Webb.
Here.
Commissioner Tomaso.
Here.
Commissioner Levy. We have a quorum.
Would legal like to read into the record the meeting notice, or has that been established? Or Director Shaw do that?
This meeting's date, time, and location have been noticed on the Tennessee Motor Vehicle Commission website, included as part of this year's meeting calendar since October 6, 2014. Additionally, the agenda for this month's meeting has been posted on the Tennessee Motor Vehicle Commission's website since September 30th, 2015. This meeting has also been noticed on tn.gov website.
Should have a copy of today's agenda, if you'd look that over, and we'll seek approval for that. Clayton,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Fox. Any questions? By voice vote, those in favor of approving the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say no. Motion carries. If you look at the minutes from the July 13th, 2015 meeting, if you don't have a copy, let us know. Clayton?
Yes.
Commissioner Clayton moves to approve,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Fox. Those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say no. Motion carries. If you look at the minutes from the September 14, 2015 meeting, and we had two meetings on that day, one regular business meeting and one, I guess it was a regular business meeting, wasn't it, Director Shaw? On 14th, did we have a regular or just legal review?
On the 14th, we did have legal review and a regular meeting.
Look at those minutes. Regular meeting. Move to approve, was that Commissioner Clayton again? Commissioner Clayton moved to approve,
Second.
seconded by Commissioner Fox. Those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say no. Motion carries. We had a summary suspension meeting that afternoon, if you may recall, or ran into the afternoon. If you'll look at those minutes, and we'll seek approval of those. Approved by Commissioner Clayton. Fox.
Motion, I'm sorry.
Commissioner Clayton and Commissioner Fox. Commissioner Clayton first and seconded by Commissioner. Those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say no. Those carry. All right. We're ready to move into the salesperson's appeals, informal appearances. Ms. Shaw, we ready for that?
Yes, Chairman, we are.
Okay. Michael Ellis Nichols. Is this Bayard Chevrolet? Yeah. Come right ahead, sir. Nichols?
I'm well, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Welcome to the commission. Let me get back. Yes, you want to tell the commission about the
Yes, Mr.
non-granting of this license.
I'm sorry?
Tell us the reasons for the non-granting of the license.
Mr. Nichols pled guilty on 3 counts of aggravated burglary and was sentenced to 2 years, 7 months in a workhouse. That sentence was imposed April 23rd, 2013. The statute at play here is Tennessee Code Annotated 114 A1C, which states the commission may deny salesperson application if they've been convicted of a crime involving moral turpitude within a 5-year period of the sentence ending. The sentence in this case ended June 23rd, 2014, which means the commission at its discretion can deny the salesperson's application through June 23rd, 2019.
Is this your first time to apply, Mr. Nichols, for a salesperson's license?
I'm sorry.
Have you been licensed before?
Yes, sir.
Where were you licensed previously?
I was licensed at Homer Skelton Ford and Olive Branch.
Your application filled out correctly, staff? Was it filled out correctly?
did indicate that he had previously been convicted of a felony on his application.
Is there a microphone on this tower, this podium? What we'll need for him to be on the microphone for the record. Nichols will be just a moment. Shaw, if you'll add Commissioner Trickett to our quorum. That microphone down a little, and when the red light is on, you're operating. Okay. Back to getting this on the record. Were previously licensed at 3 different dealerships in the state of Tennessee, and you're reapplying.
Yes, sir.
Tell us about what brought you to your incarcerations, the nature of that.
What happened was I was seeing a woman for an extended period of time and had moved in with her. And when we split up, she wouldn't allow me to come get my things. So I had communicated with her that I was at the house and that was going to be going back and forth throughout the day to get my things. And she pressed charges. In the state of Tennessee, that's considered aggravated burglary if you go into a living residence that your name is not on the lease because of not knowing who could be in and out of the home. Whenever I was called in for questioning, I just admitted everything. I guess was oblivious to what I had done and the severity of it. So they had a full admission of it, and there was no backing out of it. I explained to them that I went back and forth to the house to get my things, and with me doing so, agreeing that I went in and out without permission was the charge.
Commissioners have questions for Mr. Nichols.
I do.
Commissioner
On. Did you get just things that were yours, or did she
Yes,
accuse
ma'am.
you of taking anything that was hers?
No, ma'am. All of the property, because there was original theft of properties because she had said that I took things from the home, and all of that was dismissed because I was able to prove that the things of that were mine. And when I was honest with them, they understood that I was telling the truth of going in and out of the home.
Mr. Nichols, Commissioner Galvin, were you here before?
No, sir.
Okay, and I apologize for that. I mean, I hear all these complaints and stories and all that stuff, but in the name of the dealership you're working for is?
Bayard Chevrolet.
And you've been there how long?
I've been there for almost 4 months.
4 months?
Yes, sir.
And what are you doing at?
Well, the general manager here brought me from Applebee's. I've been trying to work my way back up since after the trouble that I'd been in, and I've been doing PDIs, cleanups on cars, in hopes to possibly obtain my sales license and go back to my career.
would you like to address the commission and on behalf of Mr. Nichols? Why don't you all want to just switch out? Mr. Woody, could you bring us another chair up here for, and put it on the end of the row for sponsors or witnesses? Go right ahead, sir, and introduce yourself, please.
My name's Philip Barton. I'm the general manager of Bayard Chevrolet in Covington. Mr. Nichols here has served me many times at Applebee's, and he would always go out of his way to help. And as time went by, I found out that he was in the car business at one point. He's got a great personality. He's a hard worker, and at this age group, I guess, you know, most of y'all probably know it's hard to find somebody that will actually work. I don't know how many kids I've been through time and time again. You know, they'll do what you ask and then look for something else to do. But it's not, I just don't do it anymore. He's proved to me to be an honest person, and I think he just deserves a chance to get back in the car business. He's got a little boy and a fiance, and I can't pay him enough cleaning up to to keep him.
Questions for this gentleman?
I'd like to make a motion that we grant his license.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Vaughn to grant the license, seconded by Commissioner Trickett. Discussion of the motion. Hearing none, chair calls for a roll call vote. Yes, for the motion to grant, would grant a license, and no, of course, would continue to deny the license. Director Shaw.
Chairman Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner McNabb,
Yes.
Commissioner Galvin,
Yes.
Commissioner Clayton,
Yes.
Commissioner Fox,
Yes.
Commissioner Hatcher, Commissioner Jackson,
Yes.
Commissioner Murray,
Yes.
Commissioner Trickett,
Yes.
Commissioner Vaughn,
Yes.
Commissioner Webb,
Yes.
Commissioner Tomaso.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Congratulations, Mr. Nichols.
Thank y'all.
So much.
I think just,
Yes,
it's gone blank.
we have a technology situation we need to address for just a moment.
It
We can
might
go
be-
ahead and bring
I might have hit something wrong.
Dustin Cruz from Carlock Nissan up.
Thanks, sir.
Mr. Cruz, if you'll sit where the microphone is and your associate there, there we go. You can look,
Yeah, I'll look here.
look on this one. We'll share.
Yeah.
we're fine. Okay. Mr. Resch, could you describe the nature of this?
Yes, Mr. Cruz was convicted of possession of marijuana with intent to sell in 2010. Additionally, Mr. Cruz was convicted of the crime of being a felon in possession of a firearm. The sentences were imposed June 28th, 2012, and his supervised release ends April 13th, 2017, making Mr. Cruz eligible on April 13th, 2022. And again, this will fall under Code Annotated 114A1C, having been convicted of a crime involving moral turpitude.
Could you describe what supervised release is to the commission?
Sir,
Just a little forward, there we go.
yes, sir. I just got to see a probation officer every 3 months. I did my time and I got out on 3 years papers. October the 14th, I become eligible for early release. So in the next few days, I'm going to file a term for early release and possibly get off.
Actually incarcerated a little less than 2 years, and then you went into, am I reading this correctly? Sentence imposed 6/28/2012. Were you incarcerated in this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then you got supervised release, and now early release is being considered for 4/13/2017.
Sir.
Questions for Mr. Cruz from the commission? What size transactions were you doing with this, sir?
I got caught with a less than an ounce of marijuana. It was just in 2 separate sets. That's why I was charged with attempt to resell. I was 18 years old, a young kid. I was 18 years old. I was a young kid and fell in the wrong direction.
How many dollars does that represent what you had in your possession?
Less than $100.
Were you learning a bit, were you actively selling, or did you just have enough that was considered?
Had some. I just got out of the Army, came back from basic training, fell in with some guys I shouldn't have fell into with, and
You were in the Army and came back from basic training.
yes, sir.
Did you leave the military at that point, or were you waiting for assignment, or?
No, sir. It was actually the National Guard. Then I got caught with a gun in 2010. And I just had it in my possession. It was in the car. I didn't know it was anything wrong with me carrying a gun because I was still in the Army at the time, still being a convicted felon. And I was around firearms on a daily basis at the Armory.
Are you still in the National Guard?
No, sir.
When you have a felony conviction, are you asked to resign from the National Guard, or are you just finished?
The first time they did not ask me. Whenever I got caught the second time, they got me on absent without leave because I had to go to do some time.
Wasn't sure how that worked. Didn't mean to embarrass you, I just didn't know how that worked. Any questions?
I have a question, Commissioner Vaughn.
Commissioner Vaughn.
Is this the first time you've been in trouble?
The first time I was in trouble, I've had stuff that's been dismissed. This is the first thing that's ever stuck with me. Just minor stuff whenever I was a teenager, as far as.
Well, how about since all this happened?
No,
Okay.
ma'am.
Gotcha.
No, ma'am. Since then, I've been married. I have a 11-month-old.
The gentleman, I guess from Carlock Nissan, would you like to address the commission regarding Mr. Cruz's application?
You know what? It is amazing to me that I actually come here. This is the second time I've been here, and I come here more nervous than they do. My life's going to go back to normal when I leave. But
Are you the manager there?
I'm the general manager.
And
Correct.
your name, sir?
Jim Surratt.
Okay, Mr. Surratt, go right ahead.
But my life's going to go back to normal, just like all of ours are. But we come up here, and I don't know if any of you ever been to Jackson, Tennessee. I'm originally from Knoxville, and Jackson's a great town, but the unemployment and the crime and you see it every day there. It's like nothing I've ever experienced. And then you get guys that that want to work and want out. They don't have a way out. And he owns a home. He's bought 2 new cars. His wife's a CNA. She's in nursing school. He's got an 11-month-old son. What are they supposed to do? They did their time, and I understand we all have jobs to do. You do, I do, but it is amazing to me how these guys get in trouble when they're 18 or 19 years old, and they're trying to do the right thing now and build families and hope and all the things that we're all entitled to, and this is the difference between some of these guys going back to what they did because they don't have a choice, or trying to move forward because they do, and I know you have a job to do, and we all have a job to do, but it just seems to me, they're selling cars. We aren't trying to cure cancer or educate our young. We sell cars, and occasionally we get an opportunity to do something that's noble, and noble's giving a guy a chance. And I know I'm rambling, but it's just, it scares me to death to come to these places because I know them. I know they're good guys. And, we sit here and depend on hopefully in a 30-second conversation with them that you see they are good guys.
Well, Mr. Surratt, given your prejudice for Mr. Cruz, we understand where you're coming from.
Sure.
But the commission sees some pretty raunchy characters up here.
Absolutely. And I'm
And
absolutely.
they don't always, not everyone gets a license that comes up here. So
Correct. I understand.
Yeah. Okay, any questions?
What has he been doing for the last 6 months?
He works in our internet department following leads. Tries to, and in fairness, when we applied for his license was turned down, and I'm 100% responsible. My office manager told me that when we apply for a license, if the license declined and I appeal the license, as long as there's an appeal going on, he's able to talk to customers. So once I found out that I wasn't allowed to do that, 3 weeks ago or so, then we put him back in the internet department.
Mr. Clayton, could you lean up a little and,
I mentioned 6 months. How long has he been with you there at the store?
10 months?
That as soon as he got out, got free.
When he,
I got hired in May.
when he first got out, he came, I started him off in our cleanup shop. He wanted to sell cars. He left, went to Memphis, came back to me a couple months later, and has been with me ever since.
Feel comfortable with his background?
I absolutely would not be here if I didn't. I mean, I'm just like you. I get them all the time. I mean, we get guys that come in and get declined for license all the time. I mean, I get a handful every month, and I've been doing this 22 years. This is the second time I've been here.
Mentioned that you were here once before, is that correct?
Yes, and you all approved the salesman.
Okay.
He was a farmer, and since then, his wife's an attorney. Since then, they just bought a home 2 months ago. I mean, the guy's doing a great job for us.
Think you can lead this guy to the same trough?
I do. I just wouldn't come. I mean, I run a store in Jackson, Tennessee, and run 2 in Blytheville, Arkansas, and on a Monday at the beginning of the month, I mean, I've got more important things to do, just like everybody else does.
further questions?
Chairman, I move approval.
Clayton moves to approve.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Webb. Discussion of the motion? Hearing none, roll call vote, and yes is for the motion to grant the license, and no, of course, is to not grant the license. Director Shaw?
Chairman Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner McNabb,
Yes.
Commissioner Galvin,
Yes.
Commissioner Clayton, Commissioner Fox,
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson,
Yes.
Commissioner Murray,
Yes.
Commissioner Trickett,
Yes.
Commissioner Vaughn,
Yes.
Commissioner Webb,
Yes.
Commissioner Tomaso.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you
Bruce,
very much.
congratulations. Good luck. Thaddeus E. Schutz. Counsel?
In the case of Mr. Schutz, he was convicted of possession of more than half a gram of cocaine with intent to sell, and was sentenced to 9 years at a community-based alternative. That sentence is scheduled to end August 22nd, 2017. So again, under the felony statute, the commission at its discretion can deny Mr. Schutz's application through August 22nd of 2022.
Half gram puts you in the category of selling, possession to sell. Mr. Schutz, how's that?
Anything over a half a gram is considered as retail.
Much more than a half gram.
I had 3.
Are you actually selling?
No, sir. Honestly, it wasn't mine, but it was my vehicle. It was under the driver's seat.
Tell us a little more about the nature of how you got there. Tell us how you got there to driving someone else's car, your car?
It was my car, and I had 3 other friends in the car.
One of your former friends put this underneath your car seat.
Honestly, to this day, I still don't know. But I'm for sure that none of them 3 is my friends anymore.
Are you still friends with?
No, sir.
Hope you find some better company. Okay, questions for Mr. Schutz? Or would you like to say anything before we ask questions? Any statements you'd like to make, Mr. Schutz?
No, sir, it's fine.
Okay, thanks.
Mr. Schutz, what is a community-based alternative? What does that mean?
They allowed me to go to school. As in,
What kind of school?
I was going to Tennessee Tech. I went for auto body and collision.
Served how much time?
A year.
Okay.
Questions.
Oh,
Is this the first time that you were in trouble?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you been in trouble since then?
No, ma'am.
where were you employed when this took place?
At the time I was unemployed. I had just lost my job at Intermet.
Where?
Intermet, it's a steel. It was a steel factory.
I'm sorry, I probably missed, you probably said it already, but what area was this in? Was this Jackson, Tennessee, or?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Application was denied March 18th of this year.
Yes, sir.
Why are you just now coming to appeal?
Honestly, I didn't know the process of having to try. I just usually, when I first started, I started in detail. And every turn around, I kept asking them about me trying to sell cars. So they tried to give me a shot, told me that I got denied. I went right back in detail.
Who informed you of your right to appeal?
Say
Who
it again.
informed you of your right to appeal the denial of your salesperson's license?
Mr. Jim is the one that brought it to my attention because it was a general manager formerly before him that didn't tell us that we could appeal anything.
All right, we'll hear from Mr. Surratt. Surratt. I'll try. 2 times I should get it right. Mr. Surratt, would you like to address the commission again?
I arrived at the Jackson store 19, 20 months ago. I was part of the Van Tile group out in Phoenix prior to that. When I first got there, it was, I got rid of most of the salesmen there. I mean, it wasn't a conducive environment to try and do good business. So when I found out that Thad had applied for the license is when I asked for us to be able to go in and appeal it. So Thad's been at the stores longer than me. So I've been there almost 2 years. So he was in the cleanup shop prior to that.
Hasn't got anything to do with Mr. Schutz, but did you leave Van Tull when Mr. Buffett bought the group?
No, it's bad timing on my part, man. I tapped out on that thing before I should have. I'd probably be sitting somewhere on a beach right now.
Pardon me for my moment of curiosity. Okay. Any questions for Mr. Surratt?
Commissioner Galvin, Mr. Charette, do you find it hard to find salespeople?
I find it extremely difficult. You know, it's crazy. In Knoxville, I mean, it wasn't this difficult. I mean, and again, Jackson, the people there are amazing, but it's oppressed. I mean, it's just, I don't know if it's just the crime that spills over from Memphis, but the gangs are I mean, it's like nothing. I mean, I went from Knoxville to Phoenix, Arizona to Jackson, Tennessee, and it's just been an absolute shell shock for me. But they're good people. I mean, you know, they're my office people. I mean, they're incredible people. They've just never known any other way, I suppose.
Just curious because both of your employees were both detail people. Now they both want to be salespeople, and you're representing people from detail department. I mean, and I'm sure, like you said, there's difficult finding salespeople, but it seems to me there's a pattern right here. You know, is this your 3rd time here?
There absolutely is a pattern.
And I'm just trying to figure out, you know, your business, your scenario, your output, or whatever. But I mean,
There is one. I mean, it's I I believe that if you can help somebody, you help them, and I believe you treat the guy washing the car just like I treat Mr. Carlock. And I just think, I mean, I grew up like most of us did. I mean, I was so poor you spelled it with one O, and I got an opportunity. I came out of the military, got in the car business. It's the greatest thing that ever happened to me. It's allowed me to do things I never thought I'd be able to do. I adopted 2 little girls from Guatemala, and I mean, they're teenagers now. They're not little anymore, but I mean, there is a pattern there. And again, I've had as many deadbeats come through there as you've had come through here. But if you see something in somebody and you think that there's a chance for them, then especially doing what we do. I mean, again, it's not noble. I mean, if there is an opportunity, then I think you have a responsibility to do it. So that I agree, there is somewhat of a pattern. But the majority of my staff's not that way. I mean, the majority, we outsell that little Nissan store in Jackson, outsells the big Nissan store in Memphis. We have the highest CSI. I mean, and they'll tell you, I mean, I'm a tough guy to work for. I brought Adrian with me. I brought him in from Arizona, and we're teaching him to be a general manager now. So he didn't have any trouble when we applied for his license. So it's not the norm.
Do you get all of your employees to engage?
Absolutely. I absolutely do.
And they feel comfortable with these 2 guys coming on board?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
How many salesmen do you employ there?
14.
14. And who'd you work for in Knoxville? Just curious.
Lance Cunningham Ford, part of the Terry Taylor Group.
Oh, okay.
Further questions? Chair would entertain a motion.
I'd like to make a motion, we approve the license.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Vaughn, seconded by Commissioner McNabb. Any discussion of the motion? Hearing none, we'll call for a roll call vote. Yes would be for the motion to grant, no would be to deny the license.
Chairman Roberts. Commissioner McNabb.
Yes.
Commissioner Galvin.
No.
Commissioner Clayton.
Yes.
Commissioner Fox.
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson.
Yes.
Commissioner Murray.
Yes.
Commissioner Trickett.
Yes.
Commissioner Vaughn.
Yes.
Commissioner Webb.
Yes.
Commissioner Tomaso.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you for your time. Have a good day.
Congratulations, Mr. Hughes. Thank you. Yeah, good luck. Okay, Regina L. Edgman, 423 Wholesalers, LLC. Morning, ma'am.
Ms. Edgman was convicted of conspiracy to distribute more than 500 grams of methamphetamine and also more than 5 kilograms of cocaine hydrochloride. She was sentenced to 70 months in prison and 48 months of probation. Her prison sentence, she was sentenced on October 21st, 2002, and that her prison sentence and probation ended August 21st, 2012, making her eligible August 21st, 2017.
In regards, I'm reading from the memorandum, in regard to 423 Wholesaler LLC, the dealership application solely to Mrs. Edgman being the 100% owner of the LLC. Could we?
That was in reference to Ms. Edgman is the owner of 423 Wholesalers LLC. The dealership itself cannot be denied a dealership application because the statute states that the applicant must have been convicted of a crime involving moral turpitude, and the LLC itself has not been convicted of a felony. So what happens, Ms. Edgman also applied for a salesperson's license, which may be denied due to her crimes involving moral turpitude she's been convicted of in her past.
But we're here for a salesperson's license denial appeal.
That's correct.
But can we go back and revisit that?
Yes, sir.
Be the sole owner of this LLC,
Yes.
but your opinion is that she can get a license because the LLC has not been convicted.
That's correct. A corporation could have any number of owners, could even be publicly traded. It would be,
This was not publicly traded, but
that's correct. But just the statutes don't say that, if the owner of a corporation has been convicted of a felony, we have the discretion to deny the dealership's application. It states that the applicant, as an individual, if they've been convicted of a felony, we can deny it. So if Ms. Edgman had opened this dealership as a sole proprietor, you'd have the discretion to deny the dealership application, because as a sole proprietor, she would then be the applicant, and in that situation, her history would have a crime involving moral turpitude. However, as a corporation, the corporation is the applicant in this situation, not Mrs. Edgman.
I think this is what I heard was that a convicted felon merely needs to form an LLC or a corporation, and they cannot be denied.
It cannot be denied for their individual felonies. If they had, well, yeah, that's correct.
And is this applicant licensed now with the LLC? I mean,
Not as a salesperson.
as a dealership has a license.
That is correct.
Does she license to sell if she's licensed at a dealership?
She would.
Okay. Could we describe what this would be like, just for my own edification? Maybe someone else has the same thought, but she would, if she is denied a salesperson's license, she can own the place but can't sell a vehicle.
That's correct. She'd have to hire a salesperson.
Granted, it would be, of course,
Then sell for her own dealership.
well, any other questions on that? I don't know if that was just me that didn't quite follow that, but
I swear I didn't know what was going on.
what would you like clarified, ma'am?
I didn't know. That's the only reason they approved it, on giving me dealer's license and me not getting salesperson's license. Because of April of 2012, I was done with my probation. I'd finished all drug rehabs, 9 months, graduated, got out, and went to drug court another 9 months. So I didn't, and I thought my 5 years would be from the day I got out, but it wasn't. It's the day the probation ends. So I miscalculated that by 2 years.
How much is 500 grams? I heard about a half a gram earlier, 500 grams.
I could not tell you. It was a conspiracy charge. When it's a federal court, when it's a federal case, if 2 or more people know of activity going on that's illegal and 2 or more people confirm it, then you're automatically caught up in that conspiracy case.
Question though is 500 grams. How, is that a shoebox? Is that a?
I don't know.
How
I've
could you
never
not know
seen
if
500 grams.
I'm sorry.
I've never seen 500 grams. I got wrapped up in a conspiracy. There was 13 people in that conspiracy. So everybody that had something in there is the way they done it. I've never been caught with drugs a day in my life. But I knew what was going on in the circle. But because I didn't tell, that puts me in the conspiracy.
Have money in the deal? Were you going to be a beneficiary of the deal?
I'm dating a guy. That was part of it.
Were you in the car business prior to your offense?
I've done car business before, and I've never had a salesman's license. I was always a secretary, doing the title work and stuff like that. I was also an appraiser.
Have a storefront? I mean, do you have a
I do.
physical location?
I do.
In Chattanooga?
I do.
And are you currently selling cars out of there, or someone representing you as a salesperson? You
My
aren't-
son's supposed to be getting a salesperson's license. The state supposedly has got a new computer system going on they installed. So his license are held up right now while the system's being updated or changed over. But my son's supposed to be getting his. They should be there any day.
But as of right now, there are no cars on the lot. It's just a,
Waiting for my salesperson's license.
When you did your application, and I don't know that it's required on the current application for a dealer license, were you required, or did you verify that you actually are the sole owner of this LLC?
I didn't know doing the LLC would give me my dealer's license. I knew nothing about that till just a while ago. I said I was the owner, 100% ownership. I sent it. It asked me if I was a convicted felon. I said yes. I sent the paperwork in where my charge began March 2nd or March 14th, 2002, and where it ended April 12th, I think, 2012. I mean,
Where'd you get your capital to be in? Have you been working prior to this?
yes.
What'd
Plus my dad. My dad gave me a gift to open his business up.
Realize we drifted over into the dealer license side, which you already have.
Got 2 letters of recommendation, plus I brought a character witness if you would like to speak to her too.
That's up to you, if you'd like.
Both of these car lots have been in business over 20 years.
Okay. You're welcome to pass that out, and you're welcome to call up your character witness if you choose. That's up to you. Unless someone actually requests to hear. But would you identify yourself?
My name is Susie White.
And how do you know Ms. Edgman?
I've known Regina 5 or 6 years. Personally and professionally, I'm also in the car business.
Salesperson? Are you an owner? What do you do in the car business?
My boyfriend and I have a lot that's not far from where her location is. And I also do tag and title work for several dealers in Chattanooga.
Have you been in the, well, actually, I have a question for her, sorry. Have you been in any other trouble or had any other
Never.
issues since this has happened?
Never been in a trouble day in my life. And when I got in trouble,
Gotcha, okay. That's it.
this makes me a nervous wreck even being here today. I'm not used to this.
How much of the prison term did you do?
I done 6 years.
6 years.
And I'll never, I mean, this is something that happened back in '02 that will follow me through the rest of my life because of a choice that I made. It's the worst choice I ever made in my life. It cost me 6 years of my kid's life.
Commissioner Galvin, you mentioned that your father gave you the business as a gift. Have you had any passion whatsoever in the car business prior to that, or are you just, I mean, to me, a gift, and you don't know if it's going to work or not, but if it was me, I'd be passionate, and I want to do this, and I want to strive, because the car blood is in me, and I want to do everything I possibly can. So I'm just trying to figure out your scenario with the gift.
At Rossville Metals, I was working, and I was going to the auctions, purchasing all in-op cars to bring to, it was scrap metals, what it was. I've had dealer access since 2011, and I've been going in and out of those auctions since then. My old man is the wholesaler of cars, and I've been around cars for the last 2 years working at Todd Hamilton's as far as secretary doing title work and, you know, helping all that. I mean, I've been in around this since 2011. So I knew when he gave me the gift what I wanted to do.
Location currently bonded, or can you get a bond, dealer bond?
I'm bonded. I'm bonded. I'm completely 100% done. Everything but salesperson's license, which I was confused about that also, because I didn't know if you had dealer's license, if you had to have salesperson's license, but I just wanted to make sure that I'd done everything properly.
One will be selling there at that location.
Oh, yes.
Two of you will be the sales people there.
Yes, sir. Hope to bring my other son on board.
One son had applied and he's been granted a license, and you're waiting it to come
It's
in.
supposed to be in the mail. None of my kids have ever been in trouble. Never. I was young, dumb, and naive. I wasn't raised in a drug world. So, I was my mighty mistake.
Well, the commission hears so much from the explanation that it wasn't me, it was the other guy.
It was a choice I made. I knew what he was doing. I didn't realize it could get me in trouble. I mean, if you had never come from a family that's never been in trouble before, you don't know all the loopholes and
I'd like to make a motion that we grant the license.
Second.
Commissioner Vaughn makes a motion to grant the license, and Commissioner Trigger seconds. Discussion of the motion. Hearing none, we'll call for roll call vote. Yes will be for the motion, and the motion is to grant and
Chairman Roberts,
yes.
Commissioner McNabb,
Yes.
Commissioner Galvin,
Yes.
Commissioner Clayton,
Yes.
Commissioner Fox,
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson,
Yes.
Commissioner Murray,
Yes.
Commissioner Trickett,
Yes.
Commissioner Vaughn,
Yes.
Commissioner Webb,
Yes.
Commissioner Tomaso.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Staff ready to go?
Yes, we are.
All right. Commissioners, back to work. Tracy Brown, Moss Motor Company. Good morning.
Morning.
Mr. Rich.
Mr. Brown was convicted of bank fraud and required to serve 27 months in prison, as well as 4 years of supervised release, and pay restitution in the amount of $320,361.10 back to BB&T Bank. That sentence was imposed September 9th, 2013, and the probation should end December 9th, 2019, meaning the commission, at discretion, can deny the salesperson's application for a crime involving moral turpitude through the date of December 9th, 2024.
Brown, would you like to address the commission and describe the nature of your circumstances?
Yes, sir. The crime that I was convicted of was bank fraud, of which I pled guilty to and was guilty of. Found myself in some financial distress. Had been a very successful banker, done it all my life, helped a lot of people make a lot of money, just didn't take care of myself as far as managing my own finances. With the pressure of having kids in private schools that I probably couldn't afford, a house I couldn't afford, I made a bad decision to make some loans to help myself out of a bad financial situation. That situation will haunt me for the rest of my life.
Fraud involved making loans to yourself?
Making straw man loans that I benefited from, yes, sir.
Your first venture into the automobile business?
Yes, sir. After I lost my job in the banking business, but before any charges had been filed, I went to work for Mr. Moss at Moss Motor Company, had a salesman's license, and I did that up until the time that I had to report to federal prison.
You were doing straw loans, inventing a person making a loan, and you got the proceeds of the loans.
No, sir, there was no convincing. As the senior lender, I had the ability to approve the loans to individuals without them knowing about it, and that's what I did. There was no convincing of the individual.
How did you manage to divert those funds to yourself?
I deposited them into an account that I had set up to receive those proceeds. We'd make cashier's checks with the loan proceeds, and those checks would be deposited into an account I had set up.
How was this discovered? Were payments not made? Were you was your intent to make payments on these?
No, sir. I was making payments, and in retrospect, it's something. Please don't understand that I'm trying to make an excuse for what I did. What I did was wrong and stupid, but there was not an intent to quote steal money. I was paying the money back. I had a plan to pay the money. I had a lot of stock options and restricted stock that would be coming due that I was going to use to help pay back the money. Of course, that all went away when I got caught, when my scheme was caught. So that's why I have the restitution number that I have. But what I would do was I would make the loans to individuals. I could approve them, take the checks with the notes, and deposit those proceeds. The way that it was discovered was that bills were created, and one of the people whose name I had used began to raise questions, and that's how it was.
There were some victims other than yourself in the bank.
They were not financially impacted. They were victims from the standpoint of that they were drawn into the investigation to ask if they had any knowledge of what I had done, but there was no financial impact, no impact on their credit scores or anything. I was a commercial lender, making commercial loans, not retail loans, and so therefore the loans would have never been reported on their credit reports or anything like that. So there was no individual impact. The only impact or the only victim in this case ended up being BB&T Bank, for which I was employed.
Do you have further questions for Mr. Brown?
What state was that in?
I was in Tennessee. I was the city executive for the bank in Chattanooga. This has been a long, hard fall for me. I was, not to pat myself on the back, but I had a great career. I had a great position, a great standing in the community, and I blew it. I blew that. I blew my reputation. I blew my career. Lost my home. Almost lost my family. It was a rough fall.
How much have you paid back?
I have paid back a couple of $1,000 of the restitution so far. I spent 21 months in the federal prison at Manchester, Kentucky. Was released in July of this year, and basically what I did, they took $50 of any money I got per month while I was incarcerated. They now take 10% of anything I make at the dealership.
Personal assets, when you sold those, did you get?
I didn't sell. I lost the house. I had to give it back to the bank. And there's still a $130,000 deficiency note on that. Chances are that I'll be filing personal bankruptcy pretty soon. So that's.
How does that affect restitution? Does that?
That will not affect restitution. I'll owe that. That's like a student loan. You can't get rid of it.
Boss, would you like to address the commission?
Yeah,
And describe your dealership. Is it?
We're a family-owned dealership. My father started it in 1957, become GM dealership in 65, Ford in 75, and Chrysler in 82. He passed away this past January, and but local town, you know, small store, South Pittsburgh, Tennessee, and but Tracy worked for us before. A guy that had worked for us, used to be with GMAC, Larry Miller. I'm sure some of y'all knew him. Called. I had no problems with Tracy. I mean, he come, you know, to me honest about everything. Great guy, and you know, he's, you know, I hope we can approve him, and you know, and he's, you know, I know he did wrong, but he's, you know, he's spent his time, and like I say, it'll hone him for the rest of his life.
You're a franchise dealer?
Yes, sir.
Which ones do you have?
We got Ford and Chrysler.
Okay, one location, two? One location. Okay. Questions for Mr. Moss or Mr. Brown?
Commissioner Jackson, in reference to his duties, you know, selling cars, will he be doing any transaction?
No, I mean, when we applied and he become rejected, he's been training. I think he's pretty much certified in Ford and Chrysler as far as doing that. He's been doing some deliveries. I mean,
Are you in the store every day?
yes, sir.
Robert, I'd like to make a motion we approve the license.
Motion by Commissioner Webb to grant the license and seconded by Commissioner McNabb. Any discussion of the motion? Generally, I don't support granting a license to a situation that's so clearly moral turpitude. But other comments? Yes would be to grant the license, and no would be to deny the license. Roll call vote. Ms. Shaw?
Chairman Roberts,
Yes.
Commissioner McNabb,
Yes.
Commissioner Galvin,
Yes.
Commissioner Clayton,
Yes.
Commissioner Fox,
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson,
Yes.
Commissioner Murray,
Yes.
Commissioner Trickett,
Yes.
Commissioner Vaughn,
Yes.
Commissioner Webb,
Yes.
Commissioner Tomaso.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Jonathan McAteer. And he's applying for Bob Frinsley Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram.
Good morning, ladies. On behalf of Mr. McAteer and Bob Frinsley, Jeep. Mr. McAteer will tell you this morning that back in 2009, addressed that drug problem. He went to inpatient treatment, and since being released from that, every day, NA, AA meetings, and has addressed that problem. It affected his life greatly at that time. He has previously worked in the car business, was licensed as a dealer 2004, 2006 with Bill Hurd. Also with Tom Bannon, has also been licensed in Atlanta, Georgia. We also have Mr. Cox, who's the Secretary and Treasurer with Bob Frinsley. He's been in the car business for over 50 years. He's here to speak in support of Mr. McAteer, to say he's a wonderful employee. I'd like to see him get his license again, that Mr. McAteer has been. That would be a summation of what our testimony would be today.
Legal staff, any comments on this?
Mr. McAteer is convicted on 4 counts of theft of over $1,000. He was sentenced to prison and probation. In addition, Mr. McAteer failed to disclose his felony convictions on his salesperson's application. These only came up after additional research by the commission. The sentence was imposed August 11th, 2009, and ended August 11th, 2013, meaning Mr. McAteer eligibility will come May 10th, 2018.
Back here, may I address your
Yes,
client, Mr. Lewis?
Sure, yes, sir.
Mr. Lewis, may I address
Yes,
your
sir,
client?
please.
Okay. And Mr. McAteer, troubling that the application was filled out with a no to the question of previous convictions. Who filled out your application for you?
I filled the application out. I didn't mark no on it. I left it blank, honestly. I didn't know what, honestly, I knew that I was going to have to go through this process. I didn't mark yes or no. I just left it blank, and I knew that it was going to get denied and that we were going to have to go through this. But honestly, I assumed that I would have to come down here and just talk to you guys face to face. You know, I wasn't trying to, to be misleading or anything like that. I just didn't put anything down.
Well, Mr. McAteer, on question 3, part C, have you ever been convicted of a felony? It clearly says no.
It says no on there? Honestly.
Like it's been scratched out and rewritten. It's like somebody's erased it and written no in there.
I believe that was a highlight.
Oh, okay.
Can we have a copy of the application for Mr. Lewis and Mr. McAteer to look at? We can loan, okay. Yeah.
Obviously I did, sir. Obviously I did make a mistake. I mean, I knew it was going to come up. I mean, I wasn't. I don't know. I don't know what to say. I was pretty sure I had left it blank, but.
Okay, back to the process.
Yes, sir.
When you got the application that you said you filled out, did you get that from the office at Bob
did.
Frensley?
Yes, sir.
And you just filled it out and handed it back? How did, don't mean to put words in your mouth, but did you fill it out and then hand it back to the?
Yes, sir, I did.
Did this application come from office manager, or this come from your supervisor?
It was at the desk. It was at the front desk. They just have a packet up there that's got applications in it, and she just handed me that, and I filled it out.
Receptionist?
The receptionist, yes, sir.
Well, I asked those questions to determine a pattern, or was your supervisor in on this? Deceit. The person that would be your supervisor, was this person part of this deception, if you will, or
no, sir. No, sir. Absolutely not. I'm flabbergasted that it says that. Honestly, I really don't know what to say. I knew that obviously I have a criminal record, and I knew that this is not new to me. I've been in the car business for 12 years, so I know the process of it. And I made a mistake, sir.
Okay, back to the conviction itself. What did you theft over $1,000? What were you?
I was working at a dealership called Budget Auto Mart in Smyrna, Tennessee, and there was I had a drug problem, sir. I was strung out on pills. I hurt my back. I got put on prescription painkillers, and I couldn't get off of them. I'm not gonna lie to you. I took some money from the dealership that I worked at, and I got caught. I admitted it. When my owner asked me about it, I told him yes, sir, I did. I took the money. I bought drugs with it, and I'm sorry. I'm clean now. I've been clean for several years. I attend meetings every day. I know that you guys hear stories all the time, okay? And everybody's got one. So I'm not trying to pull a pity card or sympathy card. Last Thursday, my home burned down, and I lost everything I own, including my wife, who passed away in the fire. I have 4 children, and this is all I can do, sir. I don't know how to do anything else. I can't fix cars. I can't work with my hands. I can't work construction. I know how to do one thing, and that's sell a car. That's all I know how to do. And if you would give me an opportunity, I will not let you down. I apologize profusely for that application. I'm sorry. I did not. It was an honest mistake. I hope you can believe that.
May I ask one question too?
Sir, please do.
You paid restitution in full to the prior
Yes,
dealership?
yes, I have.
What was the nature of that theft? Did you reach into the cash drawer, or did you stick car payments in your
No,
pocket? How'd you do that?
I was. It was a small car lot. It was a small used car lot, and there was only about 4 people that worked there. And a lot of times, I would also do finance. I would also, I would sell the car, and I would also do the F&I end of it also, and I would take money. And I took $5,000.
From down payments or from customers?
Yes, sir. It was down payment money. Yes, sir. And it has been paid back. And I'd appreciate it if y'all give me a chance. That's all I can say.
Questions by
Commissioner Jackson.
Commissioner Jackson.
It was 4th counts of theft. Was that just one time? I'm looking at the report here, and I'm trying to figure out, was it 4 different occasions that you took money of just one occasion?
It was one different occasion. I mean, it only happened one time, but I got charged with 4 different counts separately. So.
It happened only one time.
No, I took $5,000, but it was from 4 different deals, but it was all one case number.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, it was totaled $5,000, but it was all on one case, and so.
4 different deals. but
Four
all in
different deals.
You got
yes, sir.
charged with one.
I got charged with one
case.
count, but it was 4 different deals. Yes, sir.
And I'm trying to see if some dates on here. Different, you said different accounts, not different accounts, but different sales transactions.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. They were.
Was it in the same month?
It was in the same. It was in the same week. It all happened within several days of each other. Yes, sir.
How did the dealership catch it? Who caught?
Lee. I was working for a man named Lee Beasley who owned the lot, and he came, and it was the end of the month, and he was booking out the deals for the end of the month, and he asked where the money was, and I told him, I said, Lee, I was hoping I could pay it back by the end of the month. I was I wasn't planning on just taking. I knew he was going to find out. I wasn't planning on just taking the money and not paying it back. I figured that by the end of the month I would have made enough money that I could replace it, and I didn't. And I told him, I said, Lee, I took the money, and that's what happened.
You indicated you had a drug problem during that period of time.
Yes, sir, I did.
And that's why you were dipping in and out of the different transactions and
Yes,
supplying your drug need.
Yes, sir. Uh-huh.
What do you do? I mean, what are you doing now? Are you in any drug rehabilitation?
I go to AA every single day, sir, and I need it now more than ever because I'm struggling with some, obviously, a personal tragedy, but that's the way I have to live my life now. I have to live my life a certain way because if I don't, I know the end result, and that's that I will, I'll relapse. And so,
are you tested often?
No, sir, not. I'm not. No.
Tested for the drugs. Are you being tested?
No, sir, I'm not. I'm not being tested currently, but I mean, I would be willing to be. I mean, I mean.
That's a question I have for the dealership. Who is someone here? I don't mean to. Chairman, I didn't mean to do that.
No, go right ahead. Mr. Cox, welcome. Commissioner Jackson has a question for you.
This couple, are your dealership required drug testing
At random,
at random?
but we've had no reason to test him.
Are you aware of his situation before you hired him? How,
Yes, sir.
feel comfortable?
I feel very comfortable. He's very professional. He's good with our customers. He's dependable. He's had some mistakes in his life, and he's trying to work them out. And that's the reason we hired him. Children and a wife, which he lost his home and his wife just Thursday.
Are you a used dealership or new dealership? Do you say or both?
Pardon?
Are you used in a new dealership?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And how many employees do you have at your dealership?
About 81.
Wow, okay.
And we have 14, 15.
Are you there every day? Are you you have a
Yes,
general
sir.
manager? Are you a general manager? You have a
I'm
general
the secretary and treasurer. I've been in this business of the 10th, 50 years.
So in his job duty, he won't have anything to do with transaction money. He'll just be selling cars.
Selling cars and turning them over to the finance people.
Questions for Mr. Cox? Thanks, sir. Mr. McAteer, this is the troubling. Your theft from a dealership is obviously falls under the category of concern for consumers and dealers and people in the industry. And then you fill out an application. You told us that you didn't put no in the question about previous felony, and then turned out that you said you left it blank. Then it says no, and no is not correct. It's very difficult to consider an application that's not even filled out truthfully. And when you already have, forgive me for making a speech, but
No, I understand your point. If I was sitting in your shoes, I'd be asking the exact same question. I have no explanation for it. Obviously, I've been doing this a long time. I know that the application for getting a sales license, it's not new to me. Somehow or another, I made a mistake. It was an honest mistake. If you could possibly, please overlook it and give me a chance. I will not let you down.
let me go back to Mr. Cox. Pardon me, sir, I should have thought of this question earlier, but it begs to question your process for applications at your store. Mr. McAteer described the process of applying for a salesperson's license as he just gets an application from a receptionist, and he fills it out himself and hands it, I guess, back to the receptionist. Sir, that's pretty loose, and apparently no one reviewed this with Mr. McAteer. And someone there knew that he had a prior conviction. You probably did, sir. But to have a receptionist handing out applications and then not having a second pair of eyes look at this to make sure it's filled out correctly is a little haphazard. Do you think you could improve this process?
Definitely can.
This case is not about you, sir, but
I wasn't aware when he filled out the application that he had a felony.
Mr. Vaughn?
Question for you. What's your employment history? Have you been at this dealership for a long time, or?
I've been back since '08, and I worked for Bob from 87 to 91. And we were
What? I'm sorry, couldn't.
friends with Bob Brinsley before we got in the car business. He and I both.
And that you left there for a little while and then came back? Where'd you go in the meantime?
I spent 15 years at Hippodrome O's. Earl Dunn for 8 years.
Questions, Commissioner Clayton?
Share with us a little bit about the fire and what happened here. Just a second, please.
I told her I was worried because she smokes and she works nights and she'd be very tired sometimes and she'd fall asleep with a cigarette. And how many times I told her, I said, Jessica, please quit smoking like that. You know, she would smoke a cigarette and she would fall asleep and the cigarette would fall out. And that's what happened. That's what they think happened anyway. They believe that they said this fire started by the couch, and she was, I'm sure, laying on the couch watching TV and fell asleep with a cigarette, and completely destroyed the home, and she passed away.
Questions?
Commissioner Jackson, I motion that we grant him the license.
Mr. Jackson, before we go further with that motion, hope that we could add to that a new application be made, an accurate application be made. I don't think we should consider one that's filled out incorrectly. Would that be?
I want to add that to my motion.
I have a motion by Commissioner Jackson to grant the license. Do we have a second? Or
I'll second it.
second by Commissioner Fox. We're discussing the motion now. And I'm not very comfortable with this application process.
I can assure you.
Mr. Cox, I think you're a little loose back there with these applications. We want things done the right way. Yeah. Heart goes out to you, but, okay. Any further discussion?
Can we ask the state a question here? In the investigation, what is the opinion that was formed when you learned of all of this and under the conditions that you learned of it? Answered no to the felony. You learned about it through your investigation.
Yes, when people apply for a salesperson's license, the commission will run a felony offender checklist, I believe it's called, and that will turn up any felons in a system. It'll tell us when a sentence began, when a sentence will end, and from there we reach out to either the salespeople or sometimes like a Davidson County clerk or wherever the person is located to obtain these copies of the signed convictions you have in front of you. Does that answer your question?
So you found it with no help or from them?
I did not personally find it. I was.
Each salesperson's application is vetted, and that came up.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Questions? Hearing no further questions or discussion of the motion, chair calls for roll call vote. Yes is for the motion to grant with a supplemental application, a corrected application. No would be to not grant the license.
Chairman Roberts. Commissioner McNabb.
Yes.
Commissioner Galvin.
No.
Commissioner Clayton.
No.
Commissioner Fox.
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson.
Yes.
Commissioner Murray.
Yes.
Commissioner Trickett.
Yes.
Commissioner Vaughn. Yes. Commissioner Webb.
Yes.
Commissioner Tomaso.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Back to you have your instructions about the application, and Mr. Cox, we hope you'll clean up, tighten that thing up, the application. Thank you. Congratulations. Good luck. Is the director ready for
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
her report? Proceed.
The report for the last period will be through August 28, 2015. As was referenced earlier, the department has gone through a system conversion. They deployed a new computer system called Core from an old system, which was known as RBS, that it's been here since at least 20 years. I remember when it came in. It's been that long. I brought that one in, and I got to see it go back out. So, but this is a new internet-based system. The conversion period for that system was the first week in the Labor Day weekend, so that's why your totals are through the August 28th date. Any of you, and I'm sure you all have, worked through bringing up a new computer system. There's always some challenges in the beginning. We have worked through what you would refer to as a backlog or anything during that transition period. I know it's been referenced that some applications were pending as a result of the system, but in our office, we have worked through every application that we have, thanks to a great team that pulled together and push those applications through. So, but anyway, going on with our numbers, up through, since the last commission meeting on July 14, 2015, the following activities have occurred. Dealers opened or relocated last quarter 110. Active licenses as of August 28, 2015. Dealers 3,731. Applications in process 41. Distributors, manufacturers 125. Auctions 30. Representatives 499. Salespeople 15,975. Dismantlers 298. RV dealers 28. RV manufacturers 59. Motor vehicle show permits issued since July 1, 2015, 4, with associated revenues of $800. Complaint report, open complaints as of July 1, 2015 to August 28, 2015. The number of complaints opened were 132. Number of complaints closed 19, 8 of which was in the RBS system, 12 in Core. Annual sales report through December, which was due February 15th of 2015. Those numbers have not changed from the last reporting. Disciplinary action report. July through September, total collected $76,600. Mr. Chairman, that concludes my report.
Questions for the executive director regarding her report? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the director's report?
Second, Commissioner Jackson.
That was Commissioner McNabb, and then seconded by Commissioner Jackson. Voice vote. Those in favor of the motion to approve the director's report, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say no. Motion carries. Legal report. Mr. Reddish?
The legal report had 84 entries on it. So everybody had a chance to review the legal report. I I have any questions.
Commissioner Jackson moved to adopt.
Second.
Jackson moved to approve and Commissioner Galvin seconded. Any discussion or questions? Okay, by voice vote, those in favor of the motion to approve the legal committee, legal report, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say no. Motion carries.
There is additional addendum to the legal report with a further 8 entries. If anybody, has everybody has had a chance to review that or has any questions to ask?
Approved by Commissioner Clayton,
Second by Commissioner Jackson.
seconded by Commissioner Jackson. Those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say no.
All I have.
Under old business, the chair had requested the staff review our forms, which are several, and the staff has gone through a very comprehensive process of looking at forms that we've had for some time, and some have been several years. Also had an opportunity to look at these forms and review those, and I think we have a recommended form format by the executive director and our legal department.
Correct. We have reviewed, legal has reviewed numerous times.
Anything to hand out or to, that needs to be handed out?
Forms are actually on your iPads there. If you would like to scan through them or if you have any questions.
One of the forms is for internal use only, if I'm not mistaken.
Director Shaw, something like the statement of labor rates, is that something we report every time we change our labor rate, or what?
The statement of labor rate is in the new application, and it would be at the time that you make the changes to your labor rate.
A lot of time.
It has taken a lot of time from a lot of people looking at this. Like I said, when you go through forms revisions, it seems like a small task, but you go through many cycles.
I'd like to make a motion that we adopt the new forms.
Moves that we adopt the new forms,
Commissioner Jackson seconded.
seconded by Commissioner Jackson.
Can I ask a question about the forms?
Certainly can.
You have the customer sign this salvage form, I guess is what the purpose of this is, correct?
The salvage form, I think that one we may jump ahead. I think we may be jumping ahead on the agenda. We do on the new proposed rules. There's the proposed rule and a proposed form that goes with it. That's on the salvage document, and that'll be the next item on the agenda, because that in itself would be a completely new form. This batch is all just kind of a recycling of what we've had for many years, and then we will discuss that next. That's okay.
That's a good question. We'll do that one. That one has to do with the rule. These have to do with updating forms of corporations. We didn't have forms that
It is in the rules, and there was an old form that you were using. It's just, a lot of these are just getting new letterhead.
Nothing in here deals with any rule changes.
Just paperwork.
These went back and the legal staff, if I may say so, looked at the rules and the statutes and then updated the forms as the statute allows.
That's correct.
Did we have a motion to approve, or did we? Commissioner Schaefer. Did we have a second? We did. And we were
Motion made by
we're in
Commissioner
discussion
Vaughn and
phase.
seconded by Commissioner Jackson.
Any further questions, comments? You want to do this roll call vote? Let's do this roll call vote. The motion is to adopt the updated forms.
Chairman Roberts.
Yes.
Commissioner McNabb.
Yes.
Commissioner Galvin.
Yes.
Commissioner Clayton. Commissioner Fox.
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson.
Yes.
Commissioner Murray.
Yes.
Commissioner Trickett.
Yes.
Commissioner Vaughn.
Yes.
Commissioner Webb.
Yes.
Commissioner Tomaso.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner. There was a lot of work that went into these forms. It went all the way up a couple of layers of legal. In pretty good shape. So thank you for that work. The next item is the proposed rule. We're going to read the proposed rule. Ms. Shaw, is that what we're doing here?
I would ask
or
that
Mr.
our legal
Reddish?
counsel read the proposed rule.
And this has to do with the rebuilt salvage title disclosure.
This is a topic that was brought up some time ago before the commission, and the commission was asked to consider a new rule which would require a disclosure form. And what the legal counsel is about to read to you is the language, the proposed language that has been suggested. And in that language, it does prescribe the form and the wording. And so the second document that you'll be asked to review is the actual form that you would be approving if you approve the rule. If you approve the language in the rule to move forward, then the format of that form would be a standardized form. I think historically the problem you've had with salvage vehicles is everyone discloses it in a different way. And so this standardizes the way that this commission would say you need to disclose this. If that helps with the clarity at all.
Would vote to adopt the rule today, or are we voting to move it forward? When you say move it forward,
We'd be
do we have to
moving
have
it
another reading?
forward, and Matthew Reddish would be best to talk to you about the process in moving the rule forward.
I believe it would go through the Attorney General's office after it's been approved here. If you're prepared for me to read the rule. New Rule 0960-01-.28, in parentheses, disclosure of rebuilt motor vehicles. 1, the motor vehicle dealer or salesperson who knows that a motor vehicle has a salvage history or whose title was previously branded as rebuilt or salvage shall disclose, acknowledged in writing by the purchaser prior to the consummation of the sale, that the motor vehicle has a rebuilt title, salvage title, or salvage history. Part 2. The disclosure in writing as required in subsection A shall be completed on a form prescribed by the Commission which states the following. Notice disclosure of rebuilt or salvage vehicle. Pursuant to 10 Comp R and Regs 0960-01-.28, the following disclosure is required prior to the sale of any vehicle with a rebuilt title, salvage title, or salvage history, along with the signature of the purchaser acknowledging such disclosure. The motor vehicle you're purchasing has a salvage title, rebuilt title, or salvage history. The value of this vehicle may be significantly less than a similar vehicle that is not branded with a rebuilt or salvage title. In parentheses, purchaser's printed name. In parentheses, purchaser's signature. In parentheses, date. Parentheses, dealer or authorized representative name printed. In parentheses, dealer or authorized representative signature. In parentheses, dealer business name and license number. We then have a field for the year, the make, the model, and VIN. Rebuilt title means the passenger motor vehicle ownership document issued by the state to the owner of a rebuilt vehicle. Ownership of the passenger motor vehicle may be transferred on a rebuilt title, and a passenger motor vehicle for which a rebuilt title has been issued may be registered for use on the roads and highways. A rebuilt title shall be conspicuously labeled with the words "Rebuilt Vehicle Anti-Theft Inspection Passed" across the front. Parentheses, TCA Section 55-3-211-6. Salvage title means a passenger motor vehicle ownership document issued by the state to the owner of a salvage vehicle. Ownership of the passenger motor vehicle may be transferred on a salvage title. Use on the roads or highways. However, a passenger motor vehicle for which a salvage title has been issued shall not be registered for use on the roads or highways unless it has been issued on a rebuilt title. A salvage title shall be conspicuously labeled with the word salvage across the front. TCA section 55-3-211-8. Salvage history means A, any passenger motor vehicle which has been wrecked, destroyed, or damaged to the extent that the total estimate of actual cost of parts and labor to rebuild or reconstruct the passenger motor vehicle to its pre-accident condition and for legal operation on the road or highways exceeds 75%, in parentheses, numerical 75%, of the retail value of the passenger motor vehicle as set forth in a current edition of any nationally recognized compilation, parentheses, to include automated databases, of retail values, or, subpart B, without regard to whether such passenger motor vehicle meets the 75%, then in parentheses, numerical 75%, threshold specified in subparagraph A, any passenger motor vehicle whose owner may wish to designate as a salvage vehicle by obtaining a salvage title, without regard to the extent of the passenger motor vehicle's damage and repairs. This designation by the owner shall not impose on the insurer of the passenger motor vehicle or on any insurer processing a claim made by or on behalf of the owner of the passenger motor vehicle any obligations or liabilities, parentheses, pursuant to 10 Comp R and Regs 0960-01-.283. Subpart 3. For the purpose of this rule, salvage history means, subpart A, any passenger motor vehicle which has been wrecked, destroyed, or damaged to the extent that the total estimate of the actual cost of parts and labor to rebuild or reconstruct the passenger motor vehicle to its pre-accident condition and for legal operation on the roads or highways exceeds 75%, then in parentheses, numerical 75%, of the retail value of the passenger motor vehicle as set forth in a current edition of any nationally recognized compilation, in parentheses, to include automated databases, of retail values, or subpart B, without regard to whether such passenger motor vehicle meets the 75%, then in parentheses, numerical 75%, threshold specified in subparagraph A, any passenger motor vehicle whose owner may wish to designate as a salvage vehicle by obtaining a salvage title, without regard to the extent of the passenger motor vehicle's damage and repairs. This designation by the owner shall not impose on the insurer of the passenger motor vehicle or on an insurer processing a claim made by or on behalf of the owner of the passenger motor vehicle any obligation or liabilities. Subpart 4, compliance with subparagraphs 1 through 3 may not be waived by the purchaser.
Any questions or comments? I'd like to add the comment that this rule proposal came in response to public interest in this issue and in this rule. Any comments from the public? Comments? No questions? Chair would entertain a motion to move this rule forward or to not move it forward. Chair would like to see it move forward.
Commissioner Jackson, motion that we move this report forward.
Second.
Commissioner Jackson, motion to move it forward, the rule forward, and Commissioner Trickett seconded. Any discussion of the motion? Hearing none, Chair calls for a roll call vote. Yes would move the rule forward, and no would not move it forward. Director Shaw.
Chairman Roberts.
Yes.
Commissioner McNabb.
Yes.
Commissioner Galvin.
Yes.
Commissioner Clayton.
Yes.
Commissioner Fox.
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson.
Yes.
Commissioner Murray.
Yes.
Commissioner Trickett.
Yes.
Commissioner Vaughn.
Yes.
Commissioner Webb.
Yes.
Commissioner Tomaso.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Legal staff. Okay. Ms. Shaw, you want to tell us about our meeting in the morning?
Well,
I'll look around here to legal and see the meeting that you have for tomorrow is a scheduled formal hearing. I know there are some discussions. At this moment, as far as I'm aware, it's still on, but I would not be surprised if I don't contact you later today unless there's an update from legal.
Landorf, welcome back.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Good morning. Yeah, the only, I think Ms. Shaw said it perfectly well, is that as of right now, it's still on, but I know that our attorney who's handling that case is in discussions right now between the respondent and the judge who's been assigned to that case. And there's some discussions about whether or not that case is actually going to go forward tomorrow. And I'll just caveat that with, but the state at this point in time is not making any type of motion or anything like that to continue it. We're just trying to deal with the issue, but we will let you know. We'll try to let you know before y'all leave today. But thank you.
Stand by. Don't cancel your hotel reservations yet.
I would have one other thing. I want to kind of carry us back on the agenda. The form was actually presented as a separate item. The rule was one item and the form was presented as a separate item on the agenda. So just for point of clarity, I would ask that the commission review that as a separate item and either vote unanimously. It does correspond directly with the proposed rule, but that would be the form to move through with the rebuilt rule.
Rule has been voted to move forward. There's a form that accompanies it. Would we like to make a motion to approve the form that goes with the rule?
Commissioner Jackson, adopt the form that goes with the rule.
Second.
Motion made by Commissioner Jackson, seconded by Commissioner Vaughn to approve the form that goes with the rule. Is that stated correctly, Ms. Shaw? Is that what you need?
Acceptable.
Okay. Let's do this by roll call vote. If there's no discussion, yes is for the motion to approve the form that goes with the rule.
Chairman Roberts.
Yes.
Commissioner McNabb.
Yes.
Commissioner Galvin.
Yes.
Commissioner Clayton. Commissioner Fox.
Yes.
Commissioner Jackson.
Yes.
Commissioner Murray.
Yes.
Commissioner Trickett.
Yes.
Commissioner Vaughn.
Yes.
Commissioner Webb.
Yes.
Commissioner Tomaso.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Anything else, Ms. Shaw? We got all the housekeeping done?
The only other little thing that I would mention to you before we move on, when you get ready to leave, we have put you a calendar pocket card down in your envelope. So pull that out, stick it in your wallet. It'll answer a lot of questions as the year carries through.
Thank you. I keep
Staff
deleting
has done
my,
a great job on a
I
lot
keep
of things
deleting my
this last
emails and pester you. Okay, Chair would entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting. Commissioner Vaughn and Commissioner Jackson motion that we adjourn. All those in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Those that want to stay around, say no. Thank you. Thank you, commission members, for your attendance, and thank you, audience.